Hi, this is Phil Hartman with PH Fabrication, Horton Race Cars. Just wanted to give you guys a weekly shop update. Hope everyone's doing well. So it's been a busy week here at the shop, kind of a short week for myself. I spent the weekend up in Minnesota doing some ice fishing with my younger brothers and some friends. Had a good time, didn't catch a lot of fish, but that's how it goes sometimes. But it was nice to get back to the shop on Tuesday, and ever since then it's just been wide open, so I'm thankful for that. As you can see, we've got the Mustang in the shop. Haven't had a chance to start on it yet. It's nice to have it in. Been able to get some ideas put together for the firewall. We've also got to mount the doors, and there's a few other miscellaneous things that we're going to do to this car that we'll get into those details a little bit later once we get started. Over here on the Dodge Challenger, as you guys know, the motor's been in it. We've been able to plumb the brake lines, plumb the fuel lines. Also, we changed out the rack in it. So the old rack, somebody before us decided to cut off the shaft, which is what has the splines on. And you think, hey, we cut off the shaft, we'll just drill it, not a big deal. Well, in this case, it's a hardened steel shaft, so drilling it's next to impossible. The way they had it secured was with a set screw. And a set screw is fine if you're going to push it around the shop. But when you're running 130 miles an hour down the track and it decides to go hard right and you decide to straighten it and the set screw slips, you're still going hard right. So definitely a big safety concern. So we just put a new rack in it. This has the little bit longer shaft, and you can see it's got the splines which lock it all together. One other thing we are going to change out is the tie rod ends. Not a big fan of using used tie rod ends when you put a new rack in. It's one of those things, if the rack's worn out, what is it going to hurt you to change the tie rod ends? So that way everything is brand new on the steering. Also, we've been able to run the brake lines. You can see everything is done in stainless steel. That's one thing I do try to do at the shop. If a customer asks me to run brake lines, it's going to be done out of stainless steel with number 3 AN fittings. It just really makes it a nice clean look. Now I have had customers ask me to get lined from like Advance. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not really the thing we do when it comes to race cars. We prefer to have everything stainless, clean looking, along with using AN fittings. Just makes life a lot easier on us. We've also had a chance to get some of the fuel system plumbed. So you can see we got the hard line going all the way back to the tank, soft line up to the regulators or regulator. One nice part about having a big motor plate, it gives you a place to mount your regulator. Also, we're using the motor plate as an adjuster for the alternator. The old way they had the alternator adjuster was mounted to the chassis, and that's just not right. I mean, if you think about it, the motor flexes, chassis flexes, and here you are just straining on the belt and alternator with all that flex. So this way, the alternator and the motor are all tied together. Got a few other things we've been working on. Jad's been in the inside here working on getting a new dash mount, and we've got the shifter just clamped into place, so that way when the customer comes down, we can get everything set up the way he wants. Now I do need to give a shout out to Heinz Performance up in Charlotte, also XRP for all your great fittings. They've really stepped it up when it came to getting us the fittings we need for all our brakes and fuel lines. So if you're in need of any fittings, I highly recommend XRP and Heinz Performance up in Charlotte. Like I said, they definitely hook us up when it comes to anything we need when it comes to race car plumbing. Over here, we've got Hawks Motorsports Pontiac Firebird. Let's see if I can get some angle under here to show you what we've been doing. So we've got a lot of the titanium work done. We're working on getting the fuel tank mounted, and we got the radiator in place just to get us an idea of where we can mount stuff. Also have to come up with a intake, so we're going to work on that a little bit today. And there's been a few other miscellaneous projects we've worked on this car, so it's hard to tell with it up on the hoist, and we'll kind of go over that maybe next week. Also, we've been getting the hood mounted, and you can see we've been using these hood latches. And these are just a quick push button latch. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen them. If you haven't, They're really a neat piece and makes life easy. So you can see it's just the push button. I'm gonna have to do this upside down because I can't do it, and it just latches to a little spring in like a ball. Hit the button and it unlatches. Kind of a neat deal. So definitely makes mounting a hood a lot easier than using Zeus fasteners. Also, you don't have the problem of losing a Zeus, or if you're in the staging lanes and you need to get the hood off fast, you're not running around looking for a quarter or an Allen wrench or a Zeus tool to pop it off. Over here in the far bay, we got the Bugatti, and you can see we got the Bugatti books all opened up. We're trying to make this thing as close to a real Bugatti as possible, so that's why the books are here. Definitely gives us some help on research when it comes to that. So we've been able to get the dash finished up and in place. Been working on a windscreen, so I've got a template here that I'm going to have to make out of aluminum. And then I also finished up the rear view mirror, which I gave to AAA AAA glass, and they're going to cut me a mirror. So looking forward to getting that all finished up. Well, that is it for the weekly shop update. I do want to give a shout out to Bailey Industrial for your continued support of the shop, Edwards Ironworkers, Cleveland Punch and Die, Hypertherm Plasma Cutters, Fronius Welders, Racing Junk, TMS Titanium for all your continued help. I know I'm forgetting a few other ones, but I do thank you for all the continued support. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you all next week. Bye.